started as a simple idea. Produce 1 million liters of oil in a single calendar year. No shortcuts, no handouts, just me, a line of credit, and a stretch of land here in Ray County, Missouri. The rules are simple. I've got 10 years to build an operation capable of doing the impossible. The first few months, I can't plant, I can't build. I can only take contracts. How well I do determines everything. My budget, my line of credit, and how far this dream can go. To hit the goal, I'll need 18 oil factories and more than 2 million liters of crops. Canola, sunflower, or even rice, we'll see. But there's a catch. If my net worth ever drops below zero, it's over. The bank freezes me out and I am forced to sell to stay alive. So here in Ray County, it's not just about farming anymore. It's about building an empire 1 liter at a time. This is the 1 million liter oil challenge.
Welcome back to the oil challenge. We've got our tent set up. We've finally got somewhere to live. Well, today we're going to finally get to sell the lettuce. We're going to get through the entire winter and get us right up to planting season in year 2. We got a lot of lettuce to sell, but we need to start prepping these fields. And one of the things I'm thinking is, since we have this growth state, it's probably not going to allow us to it's probably not going to allow us to put lime down. So our 2 grass fields, I think we're going to have to cultivate just because of a mechanic in the game, not necessarily because we need to. Yeah, looking at this field, it doesn't say it needs lime, but I think we're going to apply it just in case. And then the field, let's just hop to it. Number 6 here. Doesn't say it needs it, but the yield was pretty low, so I think we're going to try and apply lime to all 3 fields today. But let's go ahead and get, well, a couple things we're going to do. The sell everything place is going to go away. I did find, thanks to a comment on Itch, there is a picture for this map that shows exactly where the sales locations are. Creek Farms did a great job with that. I figured that was the case. I just wasn't sure how quick we could find it. So we are going to sell that, get that land back. And yeah, I'm going to clean that up real quick. That is much better. All right, let's get in the Kubota. We're going to just start with them cultivating up this grass field here. And I think we'll still keep the 50% fertilization, which will be really helpful, because then when we go to plants, we can put the second application of fertilizer down. So I'm going to just have a worker handle this for now, just get them started. Let's take a look at the used market before we go buying things. $220,000 for this. I just don't think we would get much use out of it. It's not a necessity. This T8020 would be pretty nice, but not a necessity for $100,000. Slurry we don't need. I mean, this would be cool if it did lime, but we don't have that mod enabled. So I think the thing... Awesome, they're getting started. The thing that I'm targeting, if we go in here, we need a spreader. And I want to use some of the new stuff. The Agri spread, I guess is how you would say that. The AS2100 SCS. It's going to be $62,500. We could try to find used. I do have this mod enabled, but I don't think we want to use that. I don't think it's that necessary. The boom, I haven't figured out exactly what this is for. I guess it says wind boom. So it'll help the spreader spread where it needs to when it's windy. But $62,500 is what we're going to need. And I think we're going to wait until after we sell the lettuce to buy that. So if we look at our line of credit right now, we do have $67,000 taken out. Payment this month is going to be $900. So, whoops, sorry, get out of your way there. So I think what we're going to do, cultivation in November. Let's remind ourselves when prices are going to get good. Lettuce says February. Right now we have 168th. Yeah, this is awesome. So let's try to map that out over here. It is on its way up. It says January on this chart. So I think it's time to take this away from this guy. And we're just going to get some cultivation done. And I'm going to do it myself because it is a small cultivator, but we might as well do as much work as we can and save some money on workers. So let's go ahead and we'll start looping right here. Just kind of move forward and get this done. I don't like starting with the ups and downs. I like doing the headlands first. Yeah, we will eventually start using the little speed override here and get it done quicker. But it should be pretty quick November. We'll keep an eye on things that do show up in the used market, just in case anything good does pop up. But other than that, I'm just going to get real focused on cultivating. And the first field appears to be done. We are going to double check the map. Want to make sure everything looks correct and we don't show any grass on here. And it looks like that is the case. Nothing says growing. It just says it is stubble tillage. And now we're going to go to the next field. But we are going to do something a little different with the next field. There is that weird little turn where there's that tree. We're going to remove the tree. We're going to get the tree sold today, make a little bit of money off of that, and make the field a little bit easier to manage. And I think what we'll do is, instead of, whoops, lock into place, keep going. Instead of, driving over there and then starting, we're just gonna start cultivating. We're gonna head that direction, and once we get there, we will get out and probably have to purchase a chainsaw. I don't think we've done that yet on this playthrough. But we should be able to just fields enabled right now. We have that on. We did clean up this field, and I probably should have done this then, but let's see. I'm gonna lock in with the other mod here. Go all like that. It didn't lock in, but I think it'll be okay if we lock back in here. And let's go ahead and lift and take a look at that now. I think that did pretty good there. All right, so let's go ahead and hop out. And let's see, we have no chainsaw. And I'm not sure everything here that's required to get cut down. I do know this tree will be probably this bush. We'll see. But let's go ahead and start with the tree here if we can see what we're doing. And it's yellow everywhere. Are we really gonna have to cut? Well, why? We can't cut this down? Weird. All right, let's get lower. Find the right location that we can cut this down. And because of the way it's behaving, I think we are gonna have to use lumberjack to get rid of the stump. I'm not even gonna try stump grinder. Or we'll use easy dev controls, not lumberjack. Wow, how long is it gonna cut for? Where's it going? Chainsaw's going all the way off screen. There it goes. All right, for my sanity, I'm moving this out here with super strength. All right, we got that moved. Yeah, I don't know the rest of this, if it's actually... Yeah, this is one right here. Get these chopped down as well. They should all fall down. And is this... I don't see anything else. Maybe this one? All right, so we got this cleared up just so we could see. The stumps have been removed, and now I need to kind of trim this. And now it seems to be playing a little bit nicer with us. It seems like something with this tree, guys. I don't know, it's a box elder. I haven't done much lumber work with these. All right, that chopped it pretty good. We'll do another cut here. We're gonna grab the John Deere. We're gonna load it up real quick. And just gonna be completely honest with you guys, that this little bit of doing lumber work just confirms we're not doing any lumber in this series. I was gonna do like a decent amount in the winters to supplement our income a little bit, but it's not for me. I don't enjoy it. I do not. So many things I'd rather do than cut down trees and have actually a decent amount in real life that I'm gonna have to take care of here. Probably gonna happen in the spring because I didn't get to them before our first snow, which is crazy. It did all melt already, but it is so cold. And based on everything that I've been reading, we're gonna have a killer winter this year. So it'll be interesting. Might mean we get a little bit extra content on the channel, though, when it comes to deep winter. But I'm going to try to get all of this loaded up, and we'll figure out where we can sell wood on this map. I'm not 100% sure. We'll take a look at that diagram that I was talking about and go from there. But yeah, totally abusing super strength, and I don't feel bad. And we have a high demand apparently for wood right now, which is nice if we can figure out the location. So we'll tag that, and we are going back to that one spot, the one spot that we know so well. And if I can't find it, we will
take a look at the diagram. And those of you wondering, the bale selling location is back here. And yeah, I'm going to pull up the diagram now. It says pallet/wood is right next to the grain selling point, which is pit 1. We should be able to come right here, unstrap, and then walk right here, and boom. So that's $7,000. That's not bad for that one tree. And a little bit of shrubbery. Not bad at all. And that should allow us to get right back into creating this field. Beautiful. Now I'm kind of tempted to just kind of mess that up. Let's go ahead and just get back to like a normal cadence here of, well, think through it here, Chris. What do we want to do? Let's not go too far because we do need to create fields. But we'll just do this naturally, guys. Let's get it done. So even though we redid the outline, it still overlaps a little bit. So that's something I'm not necessarily going to worry about moving forward. It was something I was kind of interested in when we did it, was kind of wondering, is this a map issue or is this a game issue? And it looks like a game issue with that overlap on the headland there. Now, I don't know if it's the width of the auto steering or the steering assist, or if it's the width of the implement being a little bit off. I'm sure that's a tough one to debug. So just not necessarily complaining about it, just acknowledging it and knowing that we need to use it as kind of a workaround to not necessarily worry about if that's perfect or not. All right, so what I'm kind of wondering, let's go ahead and get fields enabled. I want to see, let's not lock in, but we are going to go across here, lower. Now, if we get this regenerated now, if we come over here, it is still going to, all right, I think you just got to do the inside here. Get the actual field configured the way it's going to be, and then you can do all the cultivating. Just trying to be a little fancy with it, but I think it'll be easier just to do it this way. Now we know, and that'll be nice because then we can do the rest of the cultivation without having fields enabled and accidentally, cultivating places we don't want to cultivate. Yeah, win-win, I think. All right, so if we lock in at our second headland like we were, and now we go in to regenerate this. Oh. So we do that, then we come over here. It is not wanting to regenerate. So if you do change a field like that, you want to regenerate it, it seems like you need to change the headlands, have it configured, then you can change it back if you wanted the number that it was. A little bit of a difficulty there. And we do have limit fields is what we want. So now we can just cruise around, get this cultivation done, and then we'll get to the prices of lettuce being pretty good so that we can get some funding to buy that spreader. And it looks like there might be a bulk lime station over there in the co-op area. So that could be something that we utilize to save a little bit of money if we can buy it in bulk instead of buying a bag at a time. And it looks like that spreader we're eyeing holds 9,000. So hopefully it's not a ton of trips. I know it uses a lot more lime without precision farming. And we're going to do that every other year, as long as it lets us. And we're just cruising here to finish up the cultivating. Got both the fields looking pretty good now. We can get our spreader. And I think what we wanted to do and we discussed doing was waiting until we could sell the lettuce in January so that we can just buy the spreader with cash. So let's go ahead. Let's get on home. Get our equipment put away, and what just went on sale? Oh, nice front loader. This thing I'm eyeing, but I don't know when we'll have a 400 horsepower tractor to be able to use it. $14,000 now. Also, if you guys are interested, the line of credit mod is now working multiplayer on my itch. I will try to, my itch, that's such a weird website, but I'll try to get that link in the description, as well as the net worth mod. I did remove the buildings from it because I was having a hard time getting it to recognize what is our building and what is a building we have access to that we don't own, like the dealership, for example. So a couple issues with that I just kind of pulled a little bit of the functionality out, like we're talking about it now. So let's take a look. You can see we still have cash, stock, vehicles, farmland, and loans. Our net worth right now is $616,000. Pretty nice. All right, everything's shut off. We need to get a pressure washer soon. I started preloading some lettuce, and we do have the water automatically being filled into the greenhouses, so we don't have to do that anymore. So I think we're just going to make sure we have capacity over here. 14,000 out of 28,000, we should be good. And then over here, are we going to run out? Because we don't want to lose any cycles. Yeah, we'll be completely fine here. But we're going to go ahead, skip some time, get these prices looking pretty good, and get the lettuce sold so we can keep progressing here. It is December. We're just doing a quick little lettuce price to see how things are progressing here. We got about $300 for it to increase. So we're going to go through a little bit more time. Let's slow down time. Nope, that was the wrong way. Wrong way. Slow down, please slow down. The header disappeared, but oh boy, this is the modded version. 250 horsepower is required. How much is the discount here? 32% off. So we could adjust this to do tillage, mulching, and a weeding as well. I think we've got to do that. I'm going to take out a little bit of money from the line of credit here. Bentley's barking. Not make payment. We want to draw funds. We're just going to do 32,000 because I didn't remember the amounts. And we're going to go ahead and get this purchase. Not enough money. Is it not working? Did we not? Oh no, we got a bug. Oh no, we got a bug. So we took 25,000. I'll have to fix that after recording. Let's go ahead and add 25,000. No, it was 32,000. Okay, it's not going to save to the XML. I need to just do we'll do some print screens here, and we'll make sure things are right, but let's go ahead and get this purchased. Oh, man, that's rough. Okay, looks like it is not saving the XML since I made it multiplayer. Oh, boy, let's fix it. Okay, unless we find other bugs, this should be working. We're just going to take a good old dollar out. Yeah, and let's make sure. $1. Yep, it's working. Okay, so, and updated to itch already, guys. I apologize. I am not the best right now at multiplayer and single player mods. I'm learning though. Okay, so what we want to do was we were checking the price of lettuce. It looks like it says it's going to peak now in February, which is fun as it's ever changing, but we're trying to get it up to about $3,300. So now we're going to do the little song and dance, recheck the used market. We're good. And we're going to just constantly check, and I'm probably going to switch over to time-saving stock check to see this get to the right value. And at that point, we're going to go sell some lettuce. Okay, it never got to the peak, and the price is decreasing. So, again, we can't see at night on this, but we have 46,000 liters here. And we're going to try to drive if it'll let us. I think this is the spot to sell. Yeah, we did. And we made 152,000 on that load, so we're gonna struggle getting home. All right, we're at $251,000. Let's use the finance tab to give us an idea of what actually just happened there. $238,000 in products sold. That would be just lettuce. And let's get those lights. Oh, bright eyes. My eyes were hurting, guys. I apologize if I didn't edit it all out for you. Let's get home, and let's hope this snow disappears after the morning so we can get those purchases going that we wanted to do. After all the fun lettuce selling, we're going to pay off our line of credit once again. Make sure it all withdrew. It did. We're down to 142, but if we go ahead and close that and apply for a new one, it increased it a decent amount, but now a little interested in that. It went up about 60,000, but we did spend some money, so that makes sense because we did get this trailer. We got the other tractor, so that's good. That is good. Okay. Next, what we want to do... Oh, and we got that other implement. That's right. So let's look for fertilizer spreaders. We looked at this earlier. So we are going to go ahead and buy this one. And we are going to take the John Deere. So that was the plan, to be able to pay for that with cash. So we still have close to $400,000 in the line of credit to be able to be used. And I think this year we have these 3 fields. I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to get them prepped with some lime. We are going to go check out the bulk liming station and see if we can purchase lime in bulk there. And then we're gonna, you know, get lime laid down. We're gonna get these fields planted in spring, but we might eye buying equipment this time around. I think we really want to start adding to our fleet here and the inventory of implements, and probably get to the point where we can get our own combine, because the leasing costs are going to start hurting us. So that's, you know, money that's not necessarily added to our net worth at all. Let's go ahead and connect there. And it's kind of interesting that the net worth mod has so much more money than the line of credit's giving us. I think that's something I'm going to have to dig into and see if we can improve that to take into account a little bit more than farmland. I have a feeling it's not adding in the vehicles. When I programmed those two mods at the same time, so I kind of lost track of what I did on each one. And it was a couple months ago when I did the specifics on the collateral calculation. So anyways, open this up. Nice. We did not get the wind guards. I don't think it was, you know, no reason to spend the extra money. I don't think it actually changes the functionality of the implement. But let's go ahead and head on over. And based on the chart that No Creek Farms has shared, we should be able to find this bulk lime buying station, and see about getting some lime. Appears to be in here, and can we open this? We can. Beautiful. So we're gonna cruise in here, clip the door, and then, oh, fancy. It's gonna automatically open, and we just say lime. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one open while we're waiting. This is awesome. This is pretty sweet. It looks like there's a shop here as well. Oh, we could buy standalone fertilizer. Did I accidentally do that? I hope I didn't. Oh no, that only charged me. Okay, it did charge us 400. I don't know if that's a good price or not. I don't know if that's a good price or not. And we just clipped something there. All right, let's head to the first field. We'll do the one that's closest. Well, let's do the farthest one. Let's do the one by the farmyard. We'll do the small field first, and that should give us a decent idea of how many trips back to the bulk buying station we're gonna have to do. But it says year 2, so February year 4 is when we'll target to do lime again. I don't know how this series is gonna go. But I do love the way we're playing, and I probably do say that pretty often on this series. I'm not sure how it's going to go, and I enjoy it, but that is a fact. So you can see here we're dropping about 200 liters there so far. We can go 11 miles an hour. And with the first field done here, we're going to have about 48,000. Oh my goodness, 4,800 liters left. And we're not being super picky, but I am going to do this little spot as we drive by. We're just gonna give it a little splash here that we missed. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll use what we have before we head back to the bulk station. But that field is all taken care of. And this is where it doesn't say it needs lime on these fields. So I don't know. It never worked before. So I don't play without precision farming a lot, guys. So this is all new to me, that we have a yield decrease when we don't lime, even though it tells us we don't need to lime. I get the purpose of it, but it is somewhat confusing. I kind of think you should have a closer to precision farming type setting in here that shows different colors, kind of similar to weeds. How weeds has multiple colors. I think that would be a nice way to meet in the middle. You know, it always needs, you could always apply lime, but do you really need to apply lime is up to you. And that's not bad. Almost got around the headland here. So we're gonna now head back in and get another full tank full. Another full tank full. And see how far we get on this field. I think I'm gonna put a guess right now. 3 more on this field. I'm gonna say 5 more. 5 more loads. Let's use the honor system. What's your guys' guess in the comments? How many more times are we gonna have to go to the bulk buying station today for lime? I say 5. So a total of 6. What's the total you think? And just cruising on in and getting some lime. Like, what? This is pretty cool. So we have this like lime back here. We have all types of stuff. Pre-lime? What's pre-lime, guys? Educate me. And back at it with a fresh 9,000 liter load. Let's see how far we get. Well, 6 might be aggressive. So we're coming up on finishing another pass here. We might get the whole pass now that the field's getting shorter. And, you know, honestly, I didn't harvest that field completely myself behind us. So I kind of have a skewed view on how I feel about the size of it. I don't really know yet. So doing lime will be good. We'll get a good feel for that. But that's 2 loads. I said 6. So I don't think we're going to need 4 more. I think it'll be closer to 5. Another $486 on lime. So one of the things that we're going to start transitioning to in this playthrough is looking at some of the things that came with the map. And that's something we're going to start aggressively going after. And I believe drying grain is one of the big things. So we'll look at the grain drying productions. I'm tempted to start doing soybeans this time around, but I want to see how those work. So I'll probably take a peek at that before we start this next field, just to kind of give me a break from doing lime. And we'll see the prices of those and see how close we are to building something like that over in the farmyard. And if I have mentioned this before, forgive me, but I think what we want to do is basically start getting rid of the small field by putting productions, more greenhouses, some sheds, maybe some barns and a silo that we're going to need eventually. So turning that into somewhat of a farmyard. I don't know if we want to go super aggressive at the farmyard there, or if we just want to go like crazy on greenhouses, because long term, I don't think that's going to be our actual farmyard. I think we're going to need something bigger, and the proximity to our fields is important to me. But like we mentioned and we show in the intro, it's going to be a large plot of land, and a large flat plot of land. We'll make it flat if we need to, where all of our oil productions are going to go. And so this is the oil challenge. We're going to get to oil long term, but I want to do a lot of different things throughout this playthrough to really mix it up so it doesn't feel real tedious. We don't want to just do canola and sunflowers for 10 years. All right, let's head on over to that other field. But before we get started, I do want to hop in the menus and take a look at those productions. And we could, yeah, over here will be fine to take a sample of these. So if we come down here, let's find the ones that look unique to us. Okay, so that's the AGI grain mod. Here's the Ray County one. Looks like we have an auger filling for a drying bin here for $47,000, and all those different crop types we could do. It does require propane. We have over here a way to make silage. We have another cheaper. I wonder if the capacity is less on that one. It looks like it is smaller for drying. Then we could have a propane tank as well. So I don't know if we need that or if we can just put that there. And then we have all the supermarket mods too that I was tempted to mess around with on a certain playthrough, so I've added it to the mod pack. So these aren't too bad price-wise. We could go with the big one, and it just doesn't show us the capacity right here, so I don't know if I can see them up here. Available, no. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. We'll probably be doing that next episode when we do planting and decide on what we're going to plant. It's probably going to be soybeans, like we already mentioned. And we will probably wait until harvest to buy those, because then we'll know what capacity we need. And I'll probably put one down at that point and kind of take a look at it. But after we're done with this lime session, we might do that as well. But let's get this done. We're still on our 3rd load here. And I feel like this field's decent size. So getting this, you know, we're going to improve the yield by around 70% on this field compared to what we got last time. Night and day. So it didn't say it needed lime, but I have a feeling next year it would have said it needs it. So getting a head start on that. Heading on in to get load number 4 and back at it. It'll be interesting to see if we do need that 5th one. I think it'll be close. Really beating a dead horse with this, but I'm interested. I picked 6. I bet a bunch of you picked 5. Let's see what happens. Heading back in to get number 5 at this point. Now, if you haven't caught the Seasons of Thought on the More Farming Sim SWU channel, we're starting a little podcast there, and you probably noticed the new microphone, or if you've seen me with the camera on before. Having a really hard time adjusting to not having to talk directly into the mic. One of the main reasons why I bought it, and I'm having a hard time adjusting to it. I thought I'd share that. So there's been some digital clipping that's been happening because of me talking into it, and just like learning a totally different setup here has been super weird. A lot of the times I'll talk down like this and it'll get a little bit deeper and a little bit louder. But really, I'm supposed to just kind of look at the screen, have it below me, and keep talking. So it's been an adjustment. It should sound a little bit better, a little crisper, a little more natural. But that's number 5. We're definitely not going to get 6, so I was wrong. All is good. And the last pass, well, not last pass, but the last load here, heading in to get her done. And now the last pass. The winner was 5, not 6. I lose. Starting to get a little bit of a collection of implements here. So next episode, we're definitely going to start expanding this farmyard as we were kind of talking about, and get to planting. We might buy another one of the cedars, if not 2 more of them. We need a campfire. We definitely need a campfire over here next. I think that would be a nice addition. But what we're gonna do is next, you know, we're officially in year 2, and we want to start making a little bit more progress. We went pretty conservative the first year with the line of credit that we had, and looking right now, we have just under $400,000 in the line of credit plus $77,000, so about $480,000 to play with. We're going to start looking at fields. We're going to start, you know, making sure we have everything we need. Right now, we have something for weeding, we have something for lime, fertilizer, planting, really everything besides a combine, and we do have the grain cart. So it might be land heavy year 2, but we also need a silo, we need some sheds, and eventually, you know, we might think about some animals. Some Highland cows might be coming. And yeah, let me know of things you'd like to see in this. This is going to be a long playthrough like we talked about. We're going to take it slow, we're going to enjoy the process, and eventually we're going to make 1 million liters of oil in 1 calendar year. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode.